7 contingents from German tribes, 12,000 fighters from Bavaria. The Frankish territory, Swabia, Lorraine and Bohemia have followed their king's call for help. Otto is pinning his hopes on a decisive battle. The Magyars have never fought against King Otto, but they are confident of victory.
Have courage. God will protect us.
"19 years before the Battle of Lechfeld, Otto is still just the Duke of Saxony. He's on his way to Aachen with his 6-year-old son, Liudolf, who's due to succeed him one day. Otto's father, King Henry, has died. A successor must be chosen from among his sons and crowned here in Aachen. Not only the nobility have shown up, chroniclers report that many commoners have come too. Archbishop Hildebert of Mainz greets Otto.
May your head never be without the oil of mercy.
The bishop places the diadem on his head and proclaims him king and the successor of Charlemagne.
May you be crowned now and in the future with eternal reward.
The German kingdom was to be based on the divine will, the appointment by the lords and the legacy of history. He was now the king of all the German-speaking tribes. But would that be enough for him?
What's he planning?
That's the throne of an emperor, not a king.
When Otto also sat on Charlemagne's throne, it was seen as outrageous hubris, as if he wanted to demonstrate a claim to be emperor of all of Western Christendom.
Wanna bist du? Woher bist du?
Ansgar, van Averla Burgikomo. Vader Iuva Heinrich, frian mi verlet, dat Biverieland wieder Ungara.
Wat da bibrenges?
Meroth an Gewanmugi. Barno fi fodian mot.
Willi wedan degan min?
Ibukunin thikropit gang in Gottes Namen.
Ja.
Well, well, little Italian.
Stop it at once, Liudolf. Otto, tell him to stop. Show respect for the future king.
Did you say king?
Yes.
I'm the legitimate heir. Are you going to break all oaths for her? My father is silent, so I must answer.
Nobody could know how far Liudolf would go to assert his claim to the throne and what allies he would seek out. The enemies of God and mankind, as the Magyars were called at the time, managed to get all the way to the Rhine. Only Swabia, Liudolf's duchy, remained unscathed. Otto's son had decided not to fight the Magyars and to negotiate with them instead. Like other noblemen, he tried to quench the Magyars' greed for loot with gold and silver. But Liudolf wanted more. He met with Håkon Butsku, the Magyars' military leader.
Tell him I know of even greater spoils for you.
Are you really King Otto's son?
Yes, his firstborn. But he wants to take the crown from me. My companion will lead you to the Rhine. You'll find more treasure there than one man can carry. Help yourself to my father's riches.
Liudolf's pact with the Magyars became known. He was not just risking his father's rule, but also opening up the land to the Magyars. The contingents came from Bavaria, Swabia, Bohemia, Franconia, and Lorraine. Most of the warriors were provided by powerful bishops. Under the banner of St. Michael, Otto managed to assemble an army that was truly enormous by the standards of the time, 12,000 men. It was to be a decisive battle.
The Magyars have destroyed our towns, set our churches on fire and killed many people. Should we retreat from the enemies of God and mankind in our own country? Men, we must show firm courage in the face of these heathens and their audacity.
The Saxon monk Widukind was the only one to report Otto's speech on the Lechfeld plain. His account was clearly intended to portray a heroic image of the king for posterity.
Now let us speak with our swords instead of our tongues. Father in heaven, give us life and victory.
Later generations would call this moment on the Lechfeld the birth of the Germans. Otto has chosen a wide-open plain.
Let them come.
He has his armoured riders form long lines, there to keep closed ranks.
Let them come.
They don't aim at specific targets. Instead, they fire devastating, scattered volleys. But this time, Otto's army is better equipped. The many arrows bounce off their shields, and the chainmail also provides protection. His ranks stand firm, much to the Magyars' surprise. That's what Otto has been banking on.
Men, onwards.
Now the king's riders take the offensive.
The braver men among the enemies resisted in the beginning, but when they saw how their fellow warriors were fleeing, they were surrounded by ours and were killed one after the other.
That's how the chronicler described the battle. The Magyars were not equipped for one-on-one combat. They only had light weapons and nothing with which to combat the lances and long swords of their opponents. The victory at Lechfeld gives Otto the standing he wants. As a chosen defender of God and glorious monarch, he now sees himself summoned to higher honours. He shows no mercy. No Magyar returns home. Those who are captured are decapitated, and their leader, Bulsku, is not the only man to be hanged. It's a brutal revenge, but the Battle of Lechfeld is a turning point. The king has gone hunting in a place called Suveldun, when suddenly a ragged warrior enters the camp. It's Liudolf, Otto's son. He has isolated himself with his treason. The dukes close ranks on the side of the king.
Stand, my son.
Liudolf was gripped by the deepest remorse. He swore to be obedient henceforth and to fulfill his father's every wish.
The words of the chronicler. As he is king by the grace of God, Otto feels bound to show mercy to his lost son. But Liudolf has forfeited any right to succeed Otto to the throne. He went to Rome on the roads of the former Caesars. Otto the Great was 50 years old by now, a ripe old age. He entered the capital of the ancient Roman Empire as king. He wanted to return home as emperor. The Romans weren't impressed. On the spot where Michelangelo's Basilica of St. Peter's now stands, the Pope once pronounced Charlemagne the Emperor of the Christian West. The same was to happen this time. It is said that Otto was crowned emperor on this round stone made of porphyry, emperor of a realm that would one day be known as the Holy Roman Empire of the German nation. A chronicler reports that the Romans and Italy's princes didn't like the oath that Otto swore when the Pope made him emperor.
In the name of Christ, I swear that I will forever be the protector and defender of this holy Roman Church and all its territories.
Receive the symbol of glory.
This is how the allegiance between the German king and the Roman pontiff was forged.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost.
The ruler from the Saxon nobility was now king of the Germans, king of Italy, and Holy Roman Emperor. He was called the darling of the world and the head of the whole globe. His challenges grew with his empire. Otto felt drawn to Italy. The Saxon and his warriors liked the south. It was said that his kingdom had been orphaned. That's the price he paid for a European empire that was also contested by the Byzantine Empire in the southeast. Since Otto cannot defeat Byzantium, he seeks to create peace through marriage. His son was to marry a Byzantine princess, but the plan didn't go altogether smoothly.
You were promised the Emperor's daughter. Instead, they want to foist a distant relative on us.
She is not born in the purple? That is fraud.
Do you like her?
She isn't worthy of me.
Send the bastard back.
The emperor wanted to find a conciliatory solution and made a decision for his son.
What is your name?
Theophanu.
Theophanu.
Otto accepted the bride for the sake of peace. After many years in Italy, Otto longed for the land of his fathers again. Widukind, his chronicler, wrote, "He returned to Germania with great wealth and victorious troops."
Theophanu. What are you reading?
It says here your land horrifies people with its marshes and forests, and you drink an intoxicating brew of barley and wheat.
About whom does it say that?
About your ancestors, the Germanic peoples. Why do Romans call you Teutons?
Because they fear us like the Teutons who once invaded Italy, and now their emperor is a Saxon.
They also dismissively call you Teutsche.
Oh, those stuck-up Romans. They only like Latin. They despise the languages of the Germanic peoples.
They went to Rome with Otto the Great as Saxons, Swabes, Franks and Bavarians. They returned home with the imperial crown and the name the Italians gave them. They would soon become accustomed to the name and eventually use it themselves. Deutsche, Germans.